What is inside a flying saucer? It's described before the death of the former Director of Energy Measures. The recent reports state that a former government emergency expert describes in great detail the interior of an alien flying saucer inside the top military Area 51 base in the United States. According to Express UK, there's information describing the interior of an extraterrestrial flying saucer, as reported by Canada's former Minister of Defense, Paul Hellyer, and former Director of Energy Measures, who has not been named. Mr. Hellyer, who is 92 years old, revealed these details to a group of the most distinguished UFO researchers during a speech at the hearing on ET disclosure in Ontario, Canada. Mr. Hellyer said that if he wanted to know more about the operation of an alien spacecraft, he would ask the current head of emergency measures, quote unquote. Paul Hellyer, best known after his interview that at least 4 known extraterrestrials have been visiting Earth for thousands of years, is one of the few senior officials among the G8 countries to speak openly about UFOs and aliens. I mean, when I was living in Canada, in Montreal, Quebec, there are beautiful cul-de-sacs there, and we used to go, us girls used to go around with our bicycles every evening, just round and around, and we saw a flying saucer. By process of elimination, we figured it was a flying saucer. It was above an electrical tower. It wasn't moving. It wasn't making any noise. No lights, because it was summer evening and it was fully sunlit. And it was just there. And we were going around and around, and we all noticed that it was still there. No noise. It was not a helicopter, not an air balloon. It was a saucer-shaped, whitish gray, dull, lackluster, and we just hightailed it out of there once we figured out that it was a UFO. There were a lot of UFOs reported in Canada. You know, there were only 10 million people living there at that time, most of them on the eastern seaboard. You know, hardly anybody lives in Canada. It's too cold. But anyway, going back to this, they flew up to Area 51. No, he says, the reason I know is that I interviewed previous chief emergency measures, who is now deceased, and when he went to Langley, the CIA asked him if he would like to see some of these UFO crafts. They flew up to Area 51 and let him go inside one and observe it and take notes and things like that, Paul Hellyer said. For years, many conspiracy theories revolved around Area 51, which was confirmed by the government in 2013. And Mr. Hellyer added, but before he was allowed to go to Area 51, he had to sign an oath of secrecy and not tell anyone anything. And during his life, he did not talk to anyone, including his wife. An Air Force friend called to tell me that the former chief of emergency measures was dying of Lou Gehrig's disease, and at that moment he felt he had to talk to someone. I called him and gave him a full account of what he saw. He gave me a full account of what he saw and what the boat, the craft was like inside and stuff like that, along with other information he got and a lot of other things. But now he felt he had to talk to someone, and he thought it would be good to talk to me, Paul Hellyer said. Hopeful at some point we'll find out this information as well. And another point he said, quote, decades ago, visitors from other planets warned us of our path and offered to help us. Instead, some of us interpreted their visits as threatening and decided to shoot first and ask questions later. It's ironic that the USA is fighting monstrously expensive wars, supposedly to bring democracy to various countries, when it itself can no longer manage what it's called democracy, at a time when trillions, and I mean thousands of billions of dollars, have been spent on black projects that both Congress and the leader are deliberately keeping in the dark, Paul Hellyer said. So he didn't tell us what it was like inside. Maybe we'll find out sometime later. This I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.